What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about a pretty old video, but I still think it's relevant today because I still see people talking about this like this has happened 4 years ago, and I still see 5 years ago, I think. And I still see people today talking about Trump said that white supremacists were good people, or he said it's good people on both sides, and he was referring to white supremacists. So I wanted to play this clip really quick that I found on MSNBC, just to show you how they always cut off what he say and try to paint a narrative of him being a racist, which I don't think he is. So let me play this really quick.
You had some very bad people in that group, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Good morning and welcome to AM Joy. I'm Jonathan Capehart in for Joy.
So you saw that they cut it off right after he said that. So I'm gonna play the full clip right now, and you can see what he actually said.
That were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. No, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
So you heard him say that. I don't know how much more clear you could possibly be than to say that you're not talking about these people. He said he's not talking about the neo-Nazis or white supremacists because they should be condemned totally. But somehow people still think he's saying or people still think he said that white supremacists and neo-Nazis was good people. So this other clip I got pulled up right here is of another old clip. There's an interaction between T.I. and Candace Owens, and I think this clip says a lot, especially about black people and how they feel about, and like it's all about feelings. So I'm gonna show you this real quick. We can talk about it.
So to tackle the white supremacy thing, your question was a fallacy because you said you insinuated that he has not denounced white supremacy.
He hasn't.
Go to his, somebody please, go to his Twitter feed right now. Right now,
He
go
said,
back to
"Who
the
is the
shootings."
KKK?
He said, no, because we gotta tell the truth.
He
I do
said,
not
"Who
stop.
is the
Don't you,
KKK?"
now you're cutting me off, right? There we go. Now we're even.
What he said was that.
So listen.
What he said was that there was good.
No,
on both
let me
sides
finish.
of white
Stop.
supremacy. That's what
All right, so she just said what he said is that it was good on both sides of white supremacy. Like, these are like leaders in the black community, and they're so brainwashed and they're so stupid that they can't go and watch a minute past when he said that to see what he actually was talking about. And these are people that a lot of black people follow, and this is what they look up to. So let's keep going.
Because you guys are so hung up on Charlottesville and nobody heard the entire clip. I want to talk about why we get manipulated. I'm being serious, guys. I'm not even trying to make this like a contentious moment.
Look at T.I.'s smug ass, like he know what he's talking about. He know nothing.
Because this is literally why Black America loses right here. Because we
we're
allow
stupid?
people with cameras to go hear a whole speech, like they do this to me all the time. They take out a couple of sentences you said, and they create a whole new head.
He's literally shaking his head, and he's doing exactly what she's talking about. Look at him.
And people that were not there get incensed and get emotional and don't actually go back to hear what was actually said in full context. They do it to me all the time. I know they do it to Trump. He has denounced white supremacy so many times. It's something north, somebody counted, of 24 times, and it's on his Twitter feed. So if you want to fact check me, go back to a couple of weeks ago when the shootings happened. He said, America is no place for white nationalism and white supremacy, and it's an issue that has to be tackled. I'm paraphrasing. You can go find it.
Although
so I
he calls himself a nationalist. He calls himself a nationalist.
Stop. You can fact check me. I'm either lying to your face. You can go on Twitter right now. You can do it live.
So which one do you want us to believe? The first thing he says, or what he says after the media comes after him?
No, I'm talking about
because the first thing he said was that
you're asking a different question than T.I.
He literally said in the statement that you just quoted, the good people on both sides, he literally said in the same statement that he's not talking about neo-Nazis and white supremacists. But you don't have the brain capacity to go look it up yourself. But you want to repeat these talking points and make him seem like he's a racist when there's no evidence of that.
T.I. said, how can you work with an administration that has never denounced white supremacy? You're talking about Charlottesville?
I'm talking about talking points that come out later. But what he starts with is racism. That's what comes out his mouth when he starts.
See?
And listen to the crowd. It's just a room full of stupid people, and they're treating Candace like she's wrong and she's completely right in this whole situation. This is, and they call her a coon and a sellout and whatever derogatory names they call her for, and just because they vote with their feelings. They're all about their feelings. They don't care about what's actually true. You say the word racism, they freaking have a fit. It's just let's get back into it.
And let me tell you something. And let me tell you why the black vote is the easiest vote for Democrats to keep for the last 60 years. All they have to do to get our vote, let me tell you something. If people know what you fear, you are the easiest person to control. The Democrats have figured out that black America is emotionally responsive to the word racism. She says racism, you jump up and you start cheering. You haven't even listened.
Literally. I was just saying that.
To what I've said to rebut it, okay?
But it's the
100%. The biggest issue. Let me finish. The biggest issue facing black America is not white supremacy. When Trump said there were good people on both sides, he was talking about the fact that some people that were in the Charlottesville rally, and he could have paraphrased that better, he could have said something better, literally came there because they don't believe that statues should be torn down, okay? Other people came there because they were upset that amongst the people that came there to watch the statue be torn down were also white nationalists. So what he meant was there were some people that were just there using their First Amendment right. There were some people that were there to respond to the white nationalists, and a big mess happened. I'm not trying to defend him or relitigate a situation. I'm saying that being hung up on that is allowing you to not look at an administration that is tackling so many issues in black America right now. I do not consider myself a Republican. I definitely am not a Democrat, but Trump woke me up. I used to be liberal. Trump woke me up to the idea that we're being manipulated by the word racism every 4 years.
So wait.
Yeah, so what Candace was saying is 100% right. Black people get manipulated every 4 years, or more than, especially every 4 years, but even like every single story that comes out, whether it's Michael Brown or Jussie Smollett or Kyle Rittenhouse killed black people, every single story that have a racial component to it, black people jump on it and just it's like they want to be victims. They're so used to, maybe it's how things used to be in the past, but it's like they're so used to things being against them that whenever any little thing happen, they're like looking for racism, and that's not a good thing. Because if you're looking for racism, everything will be racist. Another thing I took away from this video is how stupid T.I. is. Like he literally on a panel said that Trump never denounced white supremacy. I'm gonna play for you a clip right now of Trump denouncing white supremacy. I believe 30 something times. Yeah, this is a video of him denouncing white supremacy 38 times. And I'm going to play this all the way through.
I denounce white supremacy, okay? Wait, are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
What's your next question? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
You start off with white supremacy, I denounce it.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to do
specifically?
that. I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Any group of hate, I am, whether it's white supremacy, whether it's any other kind of supremacy, whether it's Antifa, whether it's any group of hate, I am very concerned about it, and I'll do something about it. In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. Hate has no place in America. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. Racism is evil. And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. I didn't even know he endorsed me. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay?
What about David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
Let me ask you about this one.
Are you ready before you ask the question?
Newt Gingrich said every Republican should repudiate this guy no matter what it takes.
And I do. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Rebuked.
Done.
Done.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I put out a tweet, and I put out on Facebook that I totally disavow. And I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos. I disavowed again. I mean, how many times are you supposed to disavow? But I disavow.
Secondly, David Duke and all were disavowed. I disavowed him on Friday. I disavowed him on Twitter and Facebook. They were disavowed again. I disavowed him every time I speak to somebody virtually. It was totally disavowed.
So are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am. I mean, there's nobody that's done so much for equality as I have. David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years. I disavowed him. I disavowed the KKK. Just to put it clear, I disavowed him in the past, and I disavow him now.
What do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now?
Well, you've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party. And I disavowed David Duke, and I disavowed him the day before at a major news conference, but I disavowed David Duke. Now, if you look on Facebook, right after that, I also disavowed David Duke. When we looked at it and looked at the question, I disavowed David Duke. So I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
How do you feel about the David Duke quasi-endorsement?
I don't need anybody's endorsement.
Would you repudiate David Duke?
Sure. How many times do I have to reject? I've rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. From the time I'm 5 years old, I rejected them.
David Duke and robocalls are out again, the white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow.
Do you want white supremacists to vote for you?
No, I don't at all. Not at all. And I will tell you, this is not about hate. This is about love. I have to say, I've said it many times, and let me be clear again. I condemn the KKK. I condemn all white supremacists. I condemn the Proud Boys. I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence, and strongly condemned the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, and the KKK. So here is my first statement. When I heard about Charlottesville, we're closely following the terrible events unfolding in Charlottesville, Virginia. This is me speaking. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America.
So you heard that. He denounced it 38 times, and people still say he never denounced white supremacy. These people are in a cult. They don't know any information outside of what the Shade Room posts, and I don't know how you talk to people like this that believe like they're living in a different world. Yeah, so I don't think Trump is a racist. You're gonna have to show me some kind of evidence. they don't have any kind of evidence whatsoever that Trump is a racist, and they just say this stuff and people believe it. The news tell you that he's a racist. Dumb celebrities that don't know anything repeat it, and people that's not interested in politics or don't really follow politics like really at all, they just take what celebrities say as as gospel, and they go repeat it. And like if you ask your average Trump hater, how is Trump a racist, they won't be able to tell you. Like most people I ask, how is Trump a racist? The first thing they say is he good people on both sides, which obviously that's a lie, and he never said Nazis was good people. Yeah, they don't have any logic or any proof of anything they say. So if you want me to believe Trump is a racist, you got to show me some kind of proof, and I haven't seen any yet. So I hope he wins in 2024, and I'm definitely going to be voting for him. If you like the video, give it a like, leave your comments down below, and subscribe.